Hi, my people. Welcome to my space. This is Sakala. And today's topic, I just thought, man, I should just make just a few minutes video and just talk about people buying RDP houses. I get so frustrated when I hear that he just recently bought an RDP house through an attorney and there is no proof that this transaction went to the deeds office. Guys, the only legal way that proves that you own a property, it is through a title deed. If the attorney that you've bought the property from never gave you any forms to sign to say that these forms will be submitted to the deeds office, you don't own that property. I don't care even if you can go and Google the deeds web to check ownership of the F that you're occupying. You'll find that that property still belongs to the beneficiary. When it comes to RDP houses, there are certain steps that the beneficiary has to undertake before they can dispose the RDP house to a new owner. Okay, one of the things that I'm going to mention, go tenga an RDP house. Firstly, the person that occupies it, we call it the beneficiary, should have occupied that property for the first 8 years. So if you are still with 6 years, beneficiary, you're not allowed to sell that RDP house. So after the 8 years, then at least the government allows you actually to dispose or to sell that house to anybody that is interested to take over the occupation. So one of the process here that the seller, or I can call it the beneficiary, that needs to undertake for that sale to be legally, first and foremost, he needs to consult the human settlement. Because remember, look, RDP house, they are issued by the housing department. So for them being the custodian of building RDP houses, then it's important then that the beneficiary has to consult the human settlement to say, okay, I'm no longer in need of this property, so I want to dispose it, and there's a person who is a potential buyer who wants to take over the occupation. So once the beneficiary then has consulted the human settlement, then they will give them a permission, I think should be in the form of a document or a letter, to say, okay, we give you the permission to sell this property to anyone who is interested to buy. So if when you are occupying, or you think that, okay, you're occupying a property and you have bought that property, you have paid cash for that RDP house, and you don't have a title deed that specifies who you are the legal owner, unfortunately, my friend, you don't own that property. By the way, this is a grape tizer, not a red wine. So you don't own it. So the only form of legal ownership, it is true, that is office, whereby the seller will obviously appoint their transfer attorney, and the transfer attorneys will prepare papers to register the property to the new owner, and that will be filed to the deeds office, and the registrar of deeds will approve that. And then you are the legal owner and you have the title deed. So this thing of routine, sometimes I know about, I know our people who will look, this property, the RDP house is 150. Go buy it. That jumper, you go loan, or you have a cash, you've got your savings, and then you go and buy. You didn't appoint a transfer attorney. This property has not been registered to the deeds office, and you think that you own it. No, you don't own it. It still belongs to the beneficiary. If you can actually even go to the website of the deeds office, you'll find the beneficiary still owns the property. So a title deed is the only legal document that confirms that you own a property. If you don't have that document, then you are illegally occupying that property. So it's something that I decided, okay, Lord, guys, can we just make a video and then make this thing clear? Because I see about a lot of mistakes. People are making mistakes. They are spending money, and they think because the beneficiary has vacated the property, and then you own it, and the only proof owner that you have bought this property, it is through a bank statement. I'm worried. I just imagine now you go pay this 200,000 for this RDP house. and you never even registered it to the deeds office. And this beneficiary comes one day and say, you are legally occupying my property. And then the law enforcement will ask you, sir, you are occupying, you can see that you are living in this house. Where are the documents that prove that you own this property? No, I only have bank statement, I only have a receipt that I've paid this person. No, it doesn't work like that. This is not how it needs to be done. So even if you're in the process and you're interested to invest into RDP houses, buying RDP houses and converting into investment, guys, there's no other way. You appoint a transfer attorney, they prepare the documents, you pay the transfer attorneys to prepare the papers, and then they go to the municipalities and check if this person, in terms of municipal rates and taxes, is it up to date? If it's not, then those rates and taxes needs to be up to date and be cleared. Once they've been cleared by the municipality, then the transfer attorney will prepare the necessary document and submit it to the deeds office. The deeds office will not transfer a property if the current owner, their rates and taxes are not paid up, they're not cleared. And also, guys, the municipality must be involved in this process, because uzotenga indlu, you buy this property, you don't even know how much is he owing to the municipality, how much is he owing to rates, Gomaspala, and then you pay this 150 or 200,000 or 300,000, I don't know how much it is now. And then you think that you own it, and then only to find out the house that you have just bought, this person has never paid any rates and water to the municipality. So the person is owing maybe 150,000, and you've already paid 150,000 for the sale. Guys, let's just wake up, people. It doesn't work like that in the real world. We need to do things the right way. And the right way, it is to go through the transfer processes. That is, the attorney, the lawyer that you've appointed, he needs to draft papers. He needs actually to put all the information, go to the municipality and check the records of this person in terms of rates, is he paying the taxes and so forth. And then once those things have been cleared, then it takes the process to the deeds office, and the deeds office will also go through that process number to register the name. After a certain time, the property will be transferred, and then you will have your legal document. We need to do things the right way. Transfer, the only way of transferring an RDP house, it is through a deeds office, and that's it. For you to prove that you own the RDP house, it is through a title deed, and that's it. It's not through a court order or a affidavit. No, a title deed. That's it. Nothing more.